because look back 2 years ago when he won the Cy Young in 16, 22 wins on the season, a 3.15 ERA, only allowed 23 home runs, and his first inning ERA of 3 compared to last year, where he had all kind of problems early in the ball game, a 6.55 ERA, and it cost 38 home runs that led Major League Baseball. All that he hoped changes this season. Now, he did a lot of work in spring training with Pedro Martinez, did a lot of work with Derek Lowe, who they brought in, former single ball pitcher for the Red Sox, trying to get him back on the right track. And I'll tell you, if he can pitch anywhere close to what the first 2 guys did, the Red Sox got something going with the top 3.
Yep, indeed. Of course, those 38 home runs got to stay away from the long ball, but that first inning, if he can pin that down, as that graphic showed you, he was really good in the first inning when he won the Cy Young. So it's the Red Sox trying to get on top in the series, 2-1. Alex Cora got in the win column for the first time as a manager yesterday. Guerin will be talking about that when we return. It was a big, big night for him and his family right inside this ballpark. And Alexa Strikes Out Hunger program. The great folks at Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service, and by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Alex Cora trying to beat the Rays again last night, 1-0 over Tampa Bay, as we bring in Guerin Austin. Guerin, it doesn't matter if that first win is 10-0 or 1-0, does it?
No, it does not. No, but you could smell the beer when you walked into the clubhouse. Xander Bogaerts told us that they doused Alex Cora after his first managerial win, and they got him good. It was an important win, and it was an emotional win. Here's Cora after last night's game.
It's great. A lot of good thoughts, thinking about my dad, that, he passed away when I was 13, how important he is, Joy, and the 25 people that are here, and my mom back home. I bet she's going nuts right now, but, for how bad it was yesterday, this is also a 1-0 game, so I really have both ends of the spectrum, huh? Yeah. So I'm happy, but more happy for those guys, David bouncing back, having a great outing, Kimbrel on the mound. So it's great. It's great.
Okay. And I asked Alex Cora about it again today, and he said one of the things that really stood out to him was Craig Kimbrel. He said everything that he's been going through with his infant daughter, the way he came out and pitched that way, watching him get his first save, Alex's first win, he said it's a night he will never forget. And when we come back, Rick Porcello is on the mound for the first time this season.
today. Hanley Ramirez, the DH. JD Martinez is in left with Xander Bogaerts at short. First catch of the season. Right-hander Kittredge 0-1 with a 176 earned run average last year. So the Rays with their first bullpen game, and we will see how this works out.
Let's take a look at the Rays defense. They'll have Matt Duffy at third base, Adini Echeverria the shortstop, Joey Wendell at second, and Brad Miller the first baseman. Left to right, Malik Smith, Kevin Kiermaier, and Carlos Gomez, and Jesus Sucre doing the catching for the first pitcher of the night for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Here are your umps, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Andy Fletcher has the plate. Manny Gonzalez at first. Jeff Nelson, the second base umpire. Laz Diaz at third. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
Buenas noches, amigos.
And the weather is brought to you by Humana. Start with healthy. And here's Jerry with the 5-day.
Well, you know, it's amazing. It's actually warmer inside the dome than it is outside. 66 degrees outside, but I expect those temperatures to rise over the next couple of days, and pretty soon they'll be in the 80s. Humidity still very low in the St. Pete area, so that's the 5-day.
You totally missed your calling. 6-11 every night. I could see it. Now, Mookie Betts to lead it off here against Kittredge, who will work from the stretch. And a strike to get us started.
Only three guys in the lineup have faced Kittredge, and that's Betts, Benintendi, and Ramirez. The first three, they have a total of 4 at-bats between them against Kittredge.
6-1, about 240 out of the state of Washington as he looks at a strike. Mookie Betts so far 1 for 7 in the series. 24 homers, 102 runs batted in for Mookie last year. Second straight season of over 100 driven in.
Pretty good fastball right there. 95 as he goes way out of the zone with the 0-2 count.
They're using this bullpen alignment very quickly because of an elbow injury to one of their starters. Echeverria on target for a quick out. So 1 away. Let's bring in Garen Austin. Garen, what are you working on tonight?
Hi, OB. Well, last night we did not see Win, Dance, Repeat. I've got the latest on that. Also, I talked to Rick Porcello about his offseason, and they have updates on Eduardo Rodriguez as well as Drew Pomeranz. Guys?
Thank you very much. Look forward to that. The mystery behind Win, Dance, Repeat. Benintendi right in the thick of that. And he's in center field tonight. Andrew 271 last year. He's off to an 0 for 8 start. So looking for that first hit. Oh for 4 yesterday in the Red Sox first win of the season. Dominated by outstanding pitching. David Price was just brilliant in the start. Hit a bunch of very quick innings.
Yeah, Price and Barnes and Kimbrel all outstanding for the Red Sox last night.
And Matt Barnes another excellent inning. 7 innings, 76 pitches. That is economical.
Yeah, if this was deeper in the season, he could have probably finished that game last night.
Check swing and no offer, says Laz Diaz. And to be frank with you, I'm really not sure how Craig Kimbrel is doing it. To come out and be so focused, razor sharp, look just like he did last year when he had one of the great seasons I've ever seen from a closer. And with everything that is weighing on his mind, his family's mind right now, to come out and do that is pretty remarkable. And Alex Cora talked about it last night, how proud he was that Craig could just come out and fire strike after strike. And that's going to be ball 4. So Benintendi is on. Struck out the first 2 men he faced.
And last night, Kimbrel, of course, with the fastball getting the first couple of strikeouts. just untouchable last night. The rising fastball right there. Another one that's going to be away on the outside corner to Carlos Gomez. And then that high fastball again. That's how he got a lot of his strikeouts last year, with the high fastball, and that's what he did last night.
Great to see the big smile there too in the handshake line. Hanley Ramirez will climb in for the first time tonight with Benintendi on. That one almost got away from Sucre, the catcher. They stack up a shift here against Hanley. They bring Wendell, the second baseman, way over behind the bag.
But as you notice, they're shading him to the opposite field in the outfield.
And a ground ball to Echeverria. That's one, and it'll turn to double play, so it worked perfectly. And Tampa Bay coming up against Rick Porcello. Here's a look at the Tampa Bay Rays lineup tonight. It'll be Denard Span at the top. He's the DH. Kiermaier in center. Carlos Gomez in right. Brad Miller has been a lot of trouble for Porcello in the past as their cleanup man, with Duffy at third. Joey Wendell at second base. Echeverria the shortstop. Malik Smith the speedy left fielder, and Jesus Sucre does the catching. Rick Porcello 11-17 last year with a 4.65 ERA, so eyeing a bounce back in a big way. And he deals strike one. And Jerry, the key for him, starting pitcher presented by New England Audi dealers, is certainly the first inning.
Yes, first inning was a major problem for Porcello last year, along with the home run ball.
Did not get that call, but looked like a pretty good pitch.
Certainly did. The slider down and in, and it should be no balls and 2 strikes right now instead of 1-1.
Andy Fletcher behind the plate. Red Sox overshift, 3 men on the right.
Tries to go right back to that same spot with the slider, see if he can get the call, but that time it was too far inside.
Span with numbers on Rick Porcello, 371 lifetime. Serves that one, and it's Bogarts on the opposite side to put him away.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They have not made an error in the 2 games they've played. Eduardo Nunez moves over to third base tonight. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Brock Holt gets his first start at second base, and Mitch Moreland at first base. Left to right, J.D. Martinez, Andrew Benintendi, and Mookie Betts, and Sandy Leone doing the catching. So a lot of first-timers in there tonight for the Red Sox.
Well, we will see if it spells a bunch of runs with this Red Sox offense. Just 1 run. That was enough last night because the pitching was so darn good. And it's a key for Porcello, too, as Kiermaier gets in, because if the Red Sox can get him 3 runs, that meant a win last year. Didn't happen all that often. That's in there for a strike, but even in his struggles last year, he was 11-0 when the Red Sox got him 3 or more while he was in the game.
One thing we're noticing here in the first inning for Porcello, he's throwing a lot of off-speed pitches, sliders and changeups early here in the ball game. It was a changeup that he get the ground ball out from Span. Back inside with the fastball, two-seamer.
Line shot to left field, but Martinez has it sized up. JD in left tonight, and so 1-man gone, 2-man gone, and that'll bring up Gomez. Our key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. And looking at Porcello's numbers here at the Trop last year, 3 starts, he was tough. A 1.27 ERA, just 3 walks, 17 strikeouts. Kiermaier now 1 for 8 in the series. Gomez will dig in now, and he's 0 for 7. Rick, as always, working with very nice pace. A chopper to third. Nunez from the carpet. Got him. Home games will be day baseball games. For tickets, go to redsox.com/tickets. So, second inning, no score. Great sign for the Red Sox, and Rick Porcello zipped through that first inning. JD Martinez looking for that first hit with his new ball club. Not going to get it here. The stab by Duffy. Home opening weekend next Thursday. We're looking at the forecast, as we often do, and Jerry, in his second career here, had us on point. 45 degrees and sunny next Thursday for the home opener.
Well, at least the sun's going to be out. A little chilly, but with the sun out, it should be comfortable at the ballpark, we hope. Looking forward to getting back to Fenway.
Yes, indeed. And we all know how to dress for it. Here's Xander. He is as hot as a firecracker out of the gate. 5 for 8, 4 doubles in the series. And he has looked locked in. Had a good spring. He's carried that over. How were you as a spring training hitter?
Don't remember. It was so many years ago. Probably struggled, as I normally did, swinging the bat. Yeah.
Well, we know that's not true, but I mean,
He used to get a couple of bats a game, two, maybe three, and then toward the end of spring training, play a full game, couple of full games.
did you ever have one of those springs where you hit everything in sight, and as soon as the season started, it just stopped?
Well, yeah, it's amazing. No matter what you do in spring training, it all stops in that first at bat when it counts. It's amazing. You can have a good spring, you can have a bad spring. But when you get up there for that first at bat in the regular season, I mean, everything's official. It counts now, and it makes a world of difference. You can throw spring training right out the window.
Good count, 3-1. And he strokes this one high and deep to left. Racing back Smith, turning around. She's gone. He's still at it. Xander Bogaerts puts the Red Sox on the scoreboard. I should say he is locked in.
What have we seen him do over the last few games? And that's pull the ball a lot. That's unusual for Bogaerts. Most of the time we see him going the opposite field, but with some of the adjustments that he has made this year offensively, he is pulling the ball more, which should result in more home runs. That kind of a line drive home run out there to left field.
Did not take long to get out. The convenience stores of Speedway donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Sox homer. Speedway proud to be the largest convenience store contributor to Children's Miracle Network hospitals. 4 doubles and a home run in the first 3 games. I was just about to say he has been knocking it off all the fences here. How about over the fence?
Take a look at the pitch. He gets a fastball right down the middle. Now, a lot of times in years past, you'd see him move that up the middle or the other way. Instead, now he has the ability to pull the ball, and he pulls it right out of the ballpark for the home run.
So the Sox in front 1-0 here in the second. Mitch Moreland getting his first start at first base this season. He has played in the first couple of games as a defensive replacement.
That's interesting, Dave. Last night we talked with Alex Spear. We had him as an in-booth guest, and we're talking about launch angle. And he is one of the guys that is trying to take advantage of that new approach at the plate. It's almost like you're trying to hit the bottom of the baseball.
One-two to Mitch. High fly center field. Kiermaier for the second out. Nunez will be next. Kid Richard Guy was up with Tampa Bay last year for 15 appearances. Those were all out of the bullpen. He spent most of his first 7 years in pro ball in the minors. And that included 2 winters pitching in the Australian Baseball League.
It's amazing when you look at some of the stories of some of the players that are in the big leagues now, how their route to the major leagues. Independent baseball. Guys hanging around a long time.
Yeah, really had to persevere.
Yep.
Really got to believe in your dream for a long time.
Dave, I think salaries are a little bit better too at the minor league level now, which keeps guys around. It used to be, if you didn't make it in 4 or 5 years, it's time to go find a job, a real job.
Yeah, by then a lot of guys have families to feed.
Absolutely.
But the salaries have come up. Nothing close to big league money, but enough to make a living. Which wasn't the case for the longest time. Nunez swinging it well. 2 hits on opening day. Had a hit last night. Saw him briefly downstairs in the clubhouse. He's fine after diving into first base and beating out an infield hit yesterday. And he'll be down on strikes, but the Red Sox are on the board. Enjoy the Fenway experience with your group this season. Red Sox group outings, perfect for entertaining clients, boosting employee morale, school outings, and more. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. Well, the Sox have their first over-the-fence home run of 2018. Nunez with the inside to Parker on opening day, but Xander Bogaerts just knocked one into the seats, and the Sox are on top 1-0. And Brad Miller leading things off here. .297 with 5 career home runs against Rick. As the Sox shift Brock Holt into shallow right. So many times last season, Rick Porcello would depart the scene without a single run being scored. He got no runs in 10 of his 17 losses. 1 or 2 runs in the other 7 losses. He pounds in a strike.
He's really doing a good job here early, mixing up his pitches too. He's thrown them all: his fastball, his curve, his slider, his changeup.
Trying to get a tough hitter for him right away in the second inning.
Back to the changeup. Good pitch too. He had him lunging, but a good job by Miller to foul that pitch off. It was a good changeup by Porcello. Right at the bottom of the strike zone, a little bit below, as you can see it sink, and topping it just to get the foul ball was Miller.
And he got him. He'll sit him down. Strike 3 on the change.
Yeah, he doubled up on it. That's the last thing Miller expected right there. He thought after the changeup he'd get something hard, maybe the slider, maybe the fastball. Instead, he gets a higher changeup and takes it that time. And that moved a lot. You see Miller go back off the plate. He thought that ball was going to be inside.
Yep. Every time a Sox pitcher strikes out a Rays batter, Lexus donates $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Here's Duffy. Duffy 1 for 8 in the series with an RBI.
Tonight, Tampa wearing different uniforms. They've got Devil Rays on the front, which of course was the original nickname for the ball club when they came in 20 years ago. They had a nice ceremony before the game.
You were deeply moved by it.
Wade Boggs, of course, was a member of the original Devil Rays. As a matter of fact, I believe he hit the first home run.
He did,
in Tampa history.
You got a great hand out here. Red Sox fans as well. For Wade, he's one of my partners who filled in for you last year.
Yep.
Well, he came here to the Trop, did a great job. 2-2. Slicer foul by Duffy. Joey Wendell on deck. Wade chatting with Kiermaier before the game. When they dropped the Devil, they started to win.
Yeah, they got rid of it. Yeah, that's so very true. They did.
Devil went away, and they had a nice run of 4 consecutive playoff years. Went to the World Series.
Wonder why it was Devil in the first place. Tampa Bay, a ray is a fish, right?
Yeah.
So why would Devil be involved?
And a shallow left center, Benintendi will make the play. He's in center for the first time this season. You talk about the first regular season game by Wade Boggs here at the Trop, and that home run that he hit.
Kind of a line drive home run by Boggs. It's back in 1998 off a left-hander. I think they've got that seat out there too. The seat is still painted a different color than the other seats. And also, I believe, where he got his 3,000th hit. There's the seat I'm talking about. Now, I'm not sure if that's the home run or if that's the 3,000 hit seat. But there are 2 of them out in the right field bleacher area.
Yeah, and his 3,000th hit was also a home run, right?
Yep.
0-1 flick foul.
You know, I played with Boggs, and he could hit home runs in batting practice anytime he wanted to. But he just didn't want to be that type of hitter. He wanted to be a kind of guy that used the whole field and, take a lot of pitches, get the 2-2 foul pitches off, seems like on purpose. But he had a lot of power.
0-2. I said that about Ichiro as well. That in batting practice, he was one kind of hitter.
Yep.
In a game like Wade Boggs, he's looking to line a base hit or a double.
I would take Boggs in a home run hitting contest. I'm not kidding you. From watching him in batting practice, every once in a while he'd do that.
That'll be in there for strike 3. Another quick inning for Rick Porcello.
Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons will recap Rick Porcello's start tonight against the Rays.
Well, he looks outstanding in the first couple of innings. Brock Holt leading things off. Red Sox had 1-0 on a homer by Xander Bogaerts. Brock just 200 last year as he really struggled with vertigo. Flies that one towards Smith. Might be one of the fastest guys in the big leagues. Gets a chance to play every day, can show that off. The left fielder for Tampa Bay, one man away. Get back to what you were talking about right before the break about Wade Boggs and hitting home runs in batting practice. Now, I don't remember ever coming to see the Sox in BP back in the day. It was harder to do back then. So what you're saying is, in a home run hitting contest against other guys in the Red Sox, you'd take it.
Oh, there's no question. He'd be right up there. And guys that played with him will tell you that. When he wanted to pull the ball, he could pull it a long way. But he got into a game. He was a totally different hitter. He went from line to line, and a lot to use that wall at Fenway Park tremendously to his advantage. He was the best I ever saw. A guy with 2 strikes on him. He would foul off pitches. You go, how in the world did he foul that pitch off? And he'd live for another one and something end up with a base hit somewhere.
Sandy Leon coming off 225 last season with 7 home runs, catching his first game of the year after Christian Vasquez went the first couple. Mookie Betts on deck.
And just one last thought on Boggs with Leon at the plate here. When he first came to the big leagues, we all said, well, just give it time. They're going to find some way to get him out. They never did.
3-1, stroked into left center field, but Kiermaier covers the ground. Took him a while to get to the big leagues, too.
Yes, it did. Defensively, he was not great at the minor league level, and he became a Gold Glove third baseman. He worked hard at it, very hard at it.
2 away from Mookie Betts. Mookie grounded a short first time up, 1 for 8 so far in this series. Mookie joining Ted Williams as the only Red Sox players to record consecutive 100 RBI seasons before he turned 25. 102 a year ago. He's going to be leading off, of course, this year, so we'll see if he can get there. It's a lot tougher to do out of that leadoff spot. Alex Cora likes all the things he can bring out of that top spot, including getting the Red Sox a 1-0 lead.
Pretty nasty slider that time on the outside corner to Betts.
One, two, he won't chase.
Trying to go outside a little bit more to see if he would chase that, but Betts just lays off.
Benintendi on deck in a 2-2 from Kittredge. Smoke down into the corner. On a run, Smith can't get it, and it'll bounce up into that opening. It'll be 2 bases for Mookie Betts. So Mookie right on it, pulls a double.
Well, you know, it's like buying a house. It's all about location. And, you know, he threw him 3 straight breaking balls. The first 2 were outside, and then he tries another one that he hangs right over the middle of the plate. And Mookie Betts is not going to miss hitting that pitch hard. And he hits it hard down that left field line. Bouncing over the stands for the ground rule double.
Sox with their second extra base hit. See Mookie with 46 of them last year. That's his first of this season. Benintendi could drive him in with a base hit, which would be his first knock of 2018. He walked in the first. Kittredge coming out of the bullpen. He signed with Seattle back in 2011 out of the University of Washington, but he didn't get to the majors until last year. Spent time in Everett, Clinton, High Desert, Tacoma, Durham, and that's about half the list. But stuck with it. It's a called strike. Sucre came up to gun but didn't throw Mookie back in.
Yeah, Sucre looking out there like, you know, I put on a sign to try to pick off Betts at second base, but I don't think that the shortstop picked it up. Now watch him come up to throw, and then he's going to just kind of stare out there like, where are you? You're supposed to be covering second base right now. That was almost like a pitch out.
0-2. Got jammed.
You see Betts taking that lead, and Sucre with that fake towards second base, but no infielder was moving in that position, and that would be the shortstop's responsibility.
I don't think Benintendi, and justifiably, I don't think he was very happy with that strike call. Like you said, it was like a pitch out.
Yeah, I was stunned. They're going to try it again. This time they do get the call right. Sucre nodding his head. Yeah, now I put it down twice and you got it once.
So that may lead to a little discussion in the dugout afterwards. A ball and 2 strikes on Benintendi. Hanley is on deck. Sox trying to double their lead right here.
Yeah, about time. You see, he's up and down. Yeah, you got it that time.
That's exactly what that.
We'd have had him the first time, though, right?
It's the "it's about time" look. 2-2. High fly ball. He drove that one deep down the line, heading into the corner, and that's going to be a foul ball. Just kept on fading and fading and finally landed in foul territory.
It sounded to me, and let's see the pitch. We'll see the pitch again, but it sounded like it was toward the end of the bat. And that did not go foul by very much. It would have dropped in around the 322 because there's no way Gomez was going to get to it. But just in foul territory, and that cost the Red Sox a run.
We're talking about spring training. Alex Cora's team had, in terms of wins and losses, an excellent spring training with 22 wins, more than anybody in the majors. And Benintendi hit .391 to lead the Red Sox in slugging and batting average in the Grapefruit League. Kittredge with a 2-2 and off the corner. Good take and a full count. Will he get a pitch to drive again? With Mookie at second. Red Sox ahead 1-0. To Wendell at second base, and that'll do it. Special offers including Kids Run the Bases, presented by Marshalls, as well as Kids Batting Glove Giveaway, presented by JetBlue on Sunday, April 8th. Just visit redsox.com/tickets for more information. Well, Echeverria will lead things off here. Red Sox with a 1-0 lead on a home run by Bogaerts. Echeverria 2 for 7 so far in the series. Smooth shortstop. Played from Miami last year until a trade here to Tampa Bay. Down the right field line, but that's going to be out of play. Well, no activity in the bullpen for the Rays, so.
There really hasn't been a lot of pitches for Kittredge so far in this game, and there you see the rest of the bullpen. You could expect anybody to come out of that bullpen in this game tonight. I don't like this idea at all. I think it's crazy.
You don't like it?
No.
Seems awfully early in the season to be employing this, but you know they lost one of their starters. That one's fouled away at the plate. They lost Nathan Eovaldi. He is out with an elbow injury, so they decided to try it here tonight. Cash talked about it during the course of the spring training run. So we're going to do it. We're going to go with 4 men, and And then we're going to go with the bullpen. Very high fly ball, but not terribly deep. Benintendi will make that catch. Let's get on to Guerin.
OB, Alex Cora said that Rick Porcello has been working really hard since day one. Pitch usage, working down in the zone. And all throughout spring training, Porcello was working with Derek Lowe, and he said he was a great resource, and it was really a benefit having him there. But Porcello credited pitching coach Dana Levangie on really helping him prepare for the season. And Cora said they feel very comfortable with where Porcello is at going into this season. And guys, Porcello is a fisherman, and he was telling me that that is his form of stress relief. Unfortunately, he didn't get to do a lot of pitching this offseason. He said it was mostly baseball. Guys.
I enjoyed the read in spring training. Boston Globe did quite an expose on him fishing down the Fort Myers area. And quite the fly fisherman. He said, I'm not in Ted Williams' class. So don't get me wrong there. I'm still a work in progress, but he's at it and improving all the time.
I don't find anything stress-free about fishing. I really don't.
Yeah.
It stresses me out.
You don't catch anything, you know?
No. If you don't catch anything, you get stressed out. Is that would be normal for anybody, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, and for him, I mean, he's catching stuff, and it's all catch and release, and that's wonderful. But when you're out there for hours, what you're really doing is going out drinking beer, you know, if you're not catching anything. And that's fine. That's great. That's a great day. Don't get me wrong there, but, you know, there's a point to be made. You're supposed to catch something.
Sounds like you enjoy your fishing, Dave.
You know, are you getting the point that anything on a boat I have an issue with? Here's the 2-2. And a full count on Malik Smith.
I'm known around the league now as the hotel sitter in the lobby. I wear out lobbies. It's unbelievable. I've got to get out of my room. I go to the lobby in the morning. I go back, get changed into my game stuff, and I go back to the lobby and wait for the bus.
And if you think he's kidding, filed away. The one that killed me was it last year or 2 years ago? You're in the lobby in Milwaukee, and you fell asleep.
I did.
And,
you're right.
And when you woke up, it was a family of like 7 staring at you.
Taking pictures.
Taking pictures.
Yeah.
In the lobby.
Yeah, out like a light.
Mom, is he okay? Is he all right? Is the Rem dog all right? Benintendi with a catch, and 2 fast outs again for Rick Porcello. Fans trust Ace Ticket for lower prices, better service, and great selection on tickets with a 200% guarantee. Chat live with a specialist right now at aceticket.com.
You know what it is when you take a nap like that, as you see Yarbrough loosening up a left-hander, and you wake up and you don't know where you are. You know, it's like, am I in Milwaukee or am I in Boston? Where am I? I have no idea where I am.
Am I in my living room or am I in the lobby of the Pfister Hotel?
Yeah, and then you get people gawking and taking pictures of you, like, you know, drooling.
Oh, I didn't know they were drooling. It's another matter, isn't it? That's really frightening.
I'm not 25 anymore.
I would have given anything to have a camera when you woke up at that moment to see that family, and they were great, weren't they? They were all Red Sox fans.
Oh yeah, no, they were terrific.
They were deeply concerned for you.
They were actually waiting for me to wake up so they could take a picture.
Yes, get an autograph. You are comfortable in your lobbies. There's no doubt about it. As Sucre bats here. With Denard Span on deck, Red Sox in the lead 1-0. Some of those old lobbies are great, though, aren't they? With all the brass, those overstuffed chairs, they can get too comfortable.
That was the great thing about the one in Milwaukee. I mean, the Pfister Hotel's been there for years. I was staying there when I was playing as a rookie, and it's still there, and it's still got very comfortable couches in the lobby. It's a great place to take a nap, but it's a little bit embarrassing, you know, to be caught taking a nap in the lobby.
I wake up and have them drooling.
And I feel like a greeter because the hotel we stay in Baltimore, I sit very early in that one too, and that's kind of like in the middle of Action Central where people come to check in and go to their rooms. And so it's kind of like, hi, how are you? You know, how you doing? You know, hey, good morning, how you doing? And have a nice day. And it's like I'm one of the bell captains, you know.
Yeah. Get people coming and going. It's nice to see that Jerry's got something else to do. He's got another gig going.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Welcoming us into the lobby.
But I love the one in Baltimore. I a lot of action there.
Yeah. A lot of action. The 3-2 for ball 4, which is something Porcello just hates to do. He walks a man. That's the first base runner tonight for Tampa Bay. He puts on Sucre.
Yeah, especially when you walk the number 9 man in the batting order.
So Span will climb in 0 for 1 with a ground ball to short. Sox will wrap up this series tomorrow afternoon. Of course, we'll have it for you right here on NESN at 1:10. Hector Velasquez gets the start against right-hander Jake Faria. They're very high on him. Ground ball and right past third. Down the line it rolls. Martinez will scoop it up right on top of that line. First hit of the night for the Rays, and they have runners at first and second.
That was like an accident swing right there by Span. I mean, it's almost like he was expecting a fastball, got fooled by the curveball here, and he just serves it down that third base line. I mean, that ball was well behind him when he made contact, and he just sliced it right down the third base line. Good job by J.D. Martinez to get over in a hurry and keep those men at first and second and not second and third.
But some trouble for the first time tonight for Porcello. Kiermaier's first time up, he lined out to left. So he's 0 for 1. He's got a little power at 15 home runs last year. And strike one. Rick Porcello eager to get back to the form of a couple of years ago, when he went 22-4, led the majors in wins. Red Sox that year went 25-8 in games that he started. And he just didn't lose at home. He was automatic at home. Won 13 times that year at Fenway. 1-1 chopper. Here comes Xander Bogaerts right to the bag to get that force and retire the side.
Tomorrow morning at 11:30 for the first time ever, Hanley Ramirez takes questions from the biggest little fans. Don't miss the season premiere of Nesson Clubhouse tomorrow morning at 11:30, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts.
Hanley, in fact, has had a couple of his kids with him on the trip, and they've been out taking fly balls, shagging fly balls during batting practice, and they can really play. As Hanley gets in, he was doubled up in the first inning, 0 for 1. Single twice against Blake Snell yesterday, his first 2 hits of the season. And it's J.D. Martinez and Xander Bogaerts. So Kittredge into his 4th inning. And if he gets through the 4th and it's still 1-0, they've got to be doing backflips for Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Shortens the game for the rest of the relievers.
The left-hander still throwing down there in the corner. Hard hit fair for extra bases. That's going to keep on rolling. Hanley to second, and he'll have a stand-up double.
Hanley gets a breaking ball right here, and it's a good pitch. It's on the outside part of the plate, but he's able to extend it and cover the corner and drive it right down that third base line. A lot of times that's a pitch that Hanley will swing and miss at, that breaking ball away, but that time it stayed upstairs in the zone a little bit, and he was able to make the good solid contact.
And when the Sox have made that solid contact tonight, 2 doubles and a home run. J.D. Martinez 0 for 1. He is grounded out to third. J.D. in his career has played 106 games against the American League East, and his batting average against the East is .313. Although hitless in this series so far. Working him away. Xander Bogaerts, who's blasted a home run, is on deck. And Kittredge with a 1-1 offering. Martinez 45 home runs this season ago with 104 RBIs. Chops that one behind third foul. We've never seen this before, where a guy watches his batting practice swings in between turns in the cage.
Yeah, every single time he takes batting practice, Billy Broadbent's out there with the taking pictures of it. Video
with the iPad, yeah.
Yeah, the iPad with the video, and then he'll go show it to Martinez after 1 round, and then he'll go back in and correct things if he has to. But I'm with you, Dave. I've never seen that before.
The attention to detail, and it's good to have Billy helping him out with that, is pretty amazing. 3-2. Bounding ball to Echeverria. Back to second is Ramirez. Got him at first. Time now for our high strength steel play, brought to you by New England Chevy Dealers and the Chevy Silverado. Xander Bogaerts launching a home run in the second inning to put the Red Sox on the scoreboard. The night will be over here for Kittredge. All things considered, I think Cash and Tampa Bay very, very happy with that. As he pitches into the 4th inning, does leave a man lines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin with you. Kittredge now out of the ball game, leaving a runner at second base in Hanley Ramirez with one down. And here comes Ryan Yarbrough. He is making his major league debut right here. So they go from a guy who made his first major league start to a guy making his big league debut. And a left-hander to work to Xander Bogaerts, who cracked a home run last time.
Two-seam fastball to start off Bogaerts. He actually led the International League in strikeouts last year, pitching for Durham.
Yarbrough grew up in Lakeland, Florida, a big Rays fan. He's a big David Price fan and a Scott Kazmir fan. There goes the runner, and a high pop-up into foul territory on the move. Here comes Miller trying to make a sliding play, and what a catch. He had to run all day, heading right to the camera, and made a terrific sliding play, and Xander Bogaerts is retired.
That's brilliant right there by Miller at first base. I mean, look how far he's got to go, and he goes into that little corner where the camera area is, sliding feet first. Almost hit his head on the camera. That's a terrific play by the first baseman right there to get Bogaerts. It's a foul out.
So 2 gone for Mitch Moreland. Mitch first time up, flying to center field. Hanley had been on the move. He was able to get back to second base. Sox ahead 1-0. Mitch 22 home runs last year, drove in 79 runs. Not going to be looking to do it here, obviously, 2 men out, but it was impressive to watch him drop down a couple of bunts for hits in spring training.
Yeah, I did it about, what, 2 or 3 times during spring training. Once for a double.
Yes, which he loved. He said, you know, I'll do it enough to keep it in the back of people's minds. I don't want to overdo it. But he said, you know, if they're going to give me a cookie to bunt and I can set up and drop it down and there's no one there at third base, I'm going to do it once in a while. Very smart play. Here they've taken the shortstop, Echeverria. He's now patrolling shallow right field in the shift. All that talk about launch angle and all the home runs and the big swings. It all started because of everybody overshifting. Because hitting the ball on the ground was so often an out, as that one's fouled away.
Yeah, you recall David Ortiz, I mean, trying to hit through the shift, and how many hits were taken away for him on ground balls to the second baseman, who was playing very deep in the outfield. And of course, you didn't worry much about David Ortiz because on the very next at bat he could take it out of the ballpark. But the shifts in baseball have certainly made a difference.
And former manager right here, Joe Madden. He was the shift master for a lot of years before it was employed as readily as it is today.
It used to be very rare back in, a number of years ago where you would shift only on certain people, and not even every time. It kind of depended on who was pitching and how that hitter was hitting at that time, but very rare to see shifts then. Now you see it on almost every player.
We grew up reading about the Boudreaux shift, right, on Ted Williams.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's taken off like wildfire the last several years. And what you're going to see more and more of, and I promise you will at some point, you're going to see more of it this year, 4-man outfields. They'll take an infielder and shift him into the outfield. You'll see 4 guys out there, the 3-1. That's a foul ball up the line.
Well, if the whole idea is to get the ball in the air, it would make sense, wouldn't it, at times to have a 4-man outfielder. They're not going to hit ground balls. They're going to hit fly balls. Maybe put another guy in the outfield somewhere. It's the whole thing's spinning right now. There's a lot going on in the game of baseball.
Xander Bogaerts, checking that cap to find out where he's supposed to position himself defensively.
What they have in that cap, David, they have every matchup according to the pitcher that's on the mound and the hitters that's at the plate. So they've if they may play one way with a certain pitcher in there against a hitter, but when they bring in another pitcher, they may play him a different way. So that's why they're always checking that. They've got all the matchups in there.
So that's something new under Alex Cora this year. And Sucre will head on out to the hill, so that's an official visit, one of 6 that you get now.
A very slow pace here too by Yarbrough, and he's almost like unsure what he wants to throw.
And again, his major league debut. He's 26 years old. 2 down, but a man at second, and the 3-2. Hanley runs again, and that's going to be ball 4. And Hanley safely into third. So give him a stolen base. Tuesday night, the Bruins will be across the bay in Tampa to take on the Lightning for the final time during the regular season. These 2 teams are battling for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. The last time they played, what did you call the game?
Chippy.
Our coverage begins Tuesday night starting at 6:30 on NESN Plus.
These 2 teams do not like each other, Dave. Not at all.
Throw those record books out. They just don't like each other. Nunez is 0 for 1. Eduardo struck out first time up. He's got men at first and third. Sox trying to cash in. Red Sox getting fine pitching out of a starter again tonight. Rick Porcello's first turn. He's allowed only 1 hit. Yarbrough with the 1-0. Can't get him to chase it.
Change-up outside, missing on the outside part of the plate. Runs the count to 2 balls and no strikes. So a great hitting spot here for Nunez with that man at third base.
Eduardo, after the deal from San Francisco, hit .321 for Boston with 8 home runs. Really opened some eyes with his power. And really took a liking to Fenway. Brock Holt is on deck.
Going to try a change up on him right here.
In play to third, backhanded by Duffy. The throw is low, and it gets away, and a run is in to score. Hanley Ramirez coming in. And the Red Sox in front 2-0.
Well, that's a bad throw at third base by Duffy. He just threw it directly down in the dirt. A nice effort by Miller at first base to try to pick this, but very difficult. Looked like it was going to be the third out of the inning. Duffy, everything rights except the throw. It bounced it at first base, and Miller can't come up with it. The Red Sox get a run out of it. And that error goes to Duffy at third base.
So Hanley powering home after the double and the stolen base. And the E5, and that'll send up Brock Holt. Brock 0 for 1 tonight with a fly to left. So 2 men aboard here in the 4th inning. And Brock trying to keep that line moving. Sandy Leon is next. Yarbrough with a very deliberate pace.
Yeah, which is surprising for a guy that came out of the minor leagues, because they have that pitch clock down in the minor leagues. A lot of the young pitchers we see come up work fairly quickly. He has been very, very deliberate here in his major league debut.
Yeah, these days the youngsters are conditioned to get rid of it in 20 seconds. That one is fouled away. Brock's son Griffin was born in December of 2016, has become a huge hit. When you see the clips, the family clips of him tooling around the living room and all the stuff he does at home, he's an adorable little guy. And he's become a little star in his own right. Along with Tank, the dog. Lifelong friends, the 1-2. Here he is.
Interested in something else right now except that hitting. Yeah. You know, or maybe it's that cotton candy that he may have his eye on.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, the 1-2 pitch from the lefty, and got him looking. That'll retire the side, but the Red Sox add another run on top 2-0. Sign up now through April 2nd at tmobile.com/MLB. 2-0 lead for Rick Porcello and the Sox here as we take it to the last half of the 4th inning. Inside the Trop, where it's actually warmer, as Jerry told us in the weather report moments before the game, than it is outside by 5 or 6 degrees.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange day today outside. A little cloudy, very unusual for this time of the year down in Florida. A little breezy. Temperatures in the 60s. But that's going to change very quickly, as I mentioned. And the extended outlook for the next 5 days is very pleasant weather here in the Tampa-St. Pete area.
Pop foul out of play down the right field line. Long run for Moreland. So you would be one of those really comforting weather people. when you give the forecast, it's always like, this is going to be a great day to get out and picnic with the family. You can put the whole thing together with a nice little bow on it.
I don't know if it's a great day to get out and picnic, but I mean, it's going to be a nice day. You can do what you want with it, but
I don't know what you want. It's a free country.
Picnic, I'm not sure.
Benintendi with the catch.
There you see outside as we got some cumulus clouds going up over the dome, slightly breezy here today in the St. Pete area. But when you look up north, there is a cold front coming down, and of course that's bringing some of the breeze and some of the clouds into the area. But everybody be safe out there. That's what kills me. When you're in a storm,
right,
and the Yankees are in the studio, and these poor people are blowing around, like, knocking off houses, falling off rocks, and then they say, stay safe out there.
Miller with a pop in right center field. Benintendi will cover that ground for the second out. That people are leaving their feet, in the wind.
Oh, yeah. Everything's hitting them in the face. Hail, snow. They're falling into the ocean. There's got waves coming up over their equipment, and then the anchors say, stay safe out there. And I bet you one of them wants to say, hey, you get out here and stand in this crap for 12 hours.
So maybe you're not the comforting guy that I thought you were. As Duffy slaps that one foul.
At least we don't have a sea breeze in here in the dome, that's for sure.
Oh.
Depends on which way the AC's blowing.
That's the most serious problem we have in here. Porcello looking to make it a 1-2-3 inning. He did that in the first and the second.
And the waves a little bit gusty because of the breeze today, as you can see. The waves kind of scrumbling around, and good day for I don't know what, but
you could care less.
Yeah, it's a good day to do something out in the and we drove here the other day. We saw some people. They was water skiing, but they had like I don't know, like balloons up top. Kiteboarding, is that what they call it?
The kite, yeah, I think it is. Long reach for Bogarts, lengthy throw, and that will not be in time. So Duffy will beat it out for an infield single. Just the second hit for the Rays in this one.
Yeah, nice effort there by Bogarts going to his right, but of course Duffy runs pretty well, and he had so far to go. It took him a long time to plant and throw across his body to make that throw to first base, and Duffy just beats it out. Nice effort by Bogarts, but a 2-out base hit for the Rays here in the fourth inning.
So only the third base runner against Rick Porcello. Sends up Joey Wendell, who's at second base tonight. He struck out looking in the second. Sox up 2-0 in the fourth. They've been getting outstanding starting pitching. Of course, on opening day it was Chris Sale's 6 innings. He allowed 1 hit. Did not give up a run, struck out 9. Last night, David Price went 7 outstanding innings. Did not give up a run. Then the bullpen came in and slammed the door. Craig Kimbrell, who did not get a chance to work very often in spring training with his family issue, didn't exactly look rusty.
No, not at all. The only thing that looked rusty were the bats of the Tampa Bay Rays.
He just came in throwing smoke, back-to-back Ks, a quick third out, and that was it. As he picked up his first save of the season. In tight for a ball on Wendell. Red Sox will be heading for Miami after tomorrow afternoon's game. Hector Velasquez on the mound tomorrow. Brian Johnson will go in the opener in Miami. That's a quick 2-game series against the Marlins. Derek Jeter's Marlins. Floated to center. Benintendi's been a busy man tonight, and that'll do it.
Steve Lyons will break down the game, and you'll hear from Rick Porcello and Alex Cora. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason.
Brock Holt's a hugger. Ron Renicky, the new bench coach. Leon with a mile-high pop-up. 3 men going after it. Right fielder will make the play, but barely. Gomez had to reach back and snatch that for out number 1.
That's a pretty good play right there by Gomez. You got 3 guys going back, and nobody's really sure who's going to make the catch. He overran the baseball, then had to reach back to his right and just got it in the webbing of his glove.
One out in the 5th. Sox in front 2-0. Mookie Betts now. Mookie's 1 for 2 with a double. His second hit of the series. Andrew Benintendi to follow. Sox got a home run in the second inning by Xander Bogaerts. Got out of here very quickly up into the bleachers in left. Mookie on a right field with this one, but it hangs up high for Gomez. And 2 away.
I always like to look at managers and their styles of how they watch games. Now, so far, I would call Alex Cora a leaner. He leans against the dugout quite often, as you can see right here. So I'd call him a leaner. Other managers, you know, Farrell was more of a stand-up kind of guy. You see Cash back at the bat rack. Different styles for different managers. A.J. Hinch almost like has his whole office. He sits on a chair, and he's got, like, you know, all his paperwork all in front of him. And it's like an office.
How about one of the new trends we saw in spring training? To have some of those analytics guys in the dugout.
Yeah, exactly.
During the game.
Yep, exactly.
Stay tuned after the 3rd out of the half inning for the Mid-Fifth Studio Show with Jemai and Mark. Benintendi with a walk and a tapper to second. He's 0 for 1. Andrew returning here to the Trop, where in his first year he made one of the most sensational catches of the season down that left field line. Then he braced himself on a table on the other side of the wall, and he was the only one who knew it was there as far as the players on the diamond, and was able to come up firing. After a sensational catch, he got hung up on the hips over that wall, but he held on to the baseball. The 3-0, taking all the way. Worth another look, because this was a dandy.
Yeah, one of the better ones you'll ever see right here. And we had no idea that there was something behind there to hold him up.
He had scoped it out before the game. He knew it was there.
Now they got potato salad out there. They got everything out there. All kind of food.
I knew we'd get back to the picnic eventually.
Deluxe garden salad, potato salad. Looks pretty good.
It does. 3-2. And he walks him. So Benintendi on ball 4 for the second time tonight.
You know, we're talking about manager styles. I won't mention his name, but I covered a manager with the Boston Red Sox who was a leaner, but he would lean and fall asleep every now and then. We'd catch him on camera totally out. It was rather embarrassing. You really couldn't put the camera on there, you know, very often, because every once in a while he'd take a nap.
Will you tell me during the break?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Well, the games can get long.
Yeah, but I mean, for a manager to fall asleep
that shouldn't be happening. Hanley is hit into a double play. He's also doubled and scored and stole a base. In there for strike 1. Yeah, that's not a good look when a manager's dozing off.
No, it doesn't bring a lot of emotion to the dugout.
Not much,
you know.
Not much confidence. Were you guys putting on your own hit and runs and stuff like that?
No, just following the rules, you know.
0-1 slammed right there to Echeverria, and that will retire the side. Now it's time to turn it over to Jemai and Mark for the mid-fifth studio show, guys. Red Sox for the third consecutive game.
He's done a great job of changing speeds, mixing his pitches up, throwing the sinker, throwing the slider, throwing a lot of change-ups. He has not fallen into a pattern tonight that's been likable to the Rays. He's mixing his pitches up very, very well.
Rick, now 29 years old, from New Jersey, deals to Echeverria, who's 0 for 1. Chopper, tough play, off balance throw, a bouncer, close, and got him. How about that effort by Nunez and Moreland? How about the footwork by Moreland too?
Yeah, two terrific plays. Now Nunez knew from the position he was in on this that he could probably not throw it all the way in the air. So what does he do? He uses the turf to his advantage. He bounces it on the grass, so it'll kind of pick up speed as it gets to Moreland. From that, and then Moreland, with some fancy footwork at first base, clears himself for the runner, and they get the out. Two very nice plays.
Yeah, that's a big league out. Defensively by the Red Sox. Alex Smith will get that one to squeak through for a single. And he's a threat to run. 1 for 2 in this one. So Malik Smith aboard. Jesus Sucre will be the batter. He's walked back in the third inning. Red Sox leading it 2-0. Sucre is a guy that Tampa Bay will use in a blowout situation to pitch. He's done it 3 times in his career, and he's done all right, relatively speaking. I'm always fascinated by when that decision is made about a couple of things. Who's going to be your emergency catcher when you run out of catchers, and who's going to be your guy to pitch when the game is 15-0. That's a close play, but Smith gets back in.
Yeah, and those some of those answers managers really don't have, till it gets to that point in the game. Here's Porcello trying that pickoff again. They're expecting Smith to run. He's got, as you mentioned earlier in the game, he's got terrific speed. And they're going to try to generate some type of offense.
Yeah, he stole those 16 bases in just half a season last year, so he can fly. Leon behind the plate tonight. Back in again. Each side with 3 hits. All the Rays hits are singles. Floater, but that'll go foul down the right field line. Now you can import the NESN Red Sox calendar into your favorite calendar program on any device to get automatic alerts 15 minutes before every game. Visit NESN.com/schedule to import that schedule. It's presented by Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball. And the 0-1 to Sucre. Lined up the middle. Brock Holt knocks it down. It rolls behind him, and everybody's going to be safe. So Sucre will have a single, and that'll put the Rays at first and second with only 1 down.
Second time he's been on tonight. Drew a walk back in the 3rd inning. Now the number 9 hit against Porcello with the base hit. This ball took kind of a funny hop right here, as you can see on Brock Holt out at second base. It was almost like it went right over the head of the umpire and then short hopped Brock Holt, and he had nowhere to go with it. Certainly no play at second base with the speed of Smith.
Well, now a man who's been tough to get for Rick Porcello, Denard Span. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single in his career, 14 out of 37. So he's got to be careful right here, and right through there for strike 1. Span, when he was a little bit younger, was a speed merchant. He can still pick him up and put him down all right, but he can be doubled up. Red Sox, however, with an overshift of 3 men on the right side, and Nunez by himself near third on the left.
Here we talk about shifts, and it takes me back to a game we were playing against the Yankees, and of course Guidry was a very hard thrower, and I looked at Nettles down at third base, and he was playing me right on the line at third base. And I finally asked him, I said, why are you playing me on the line? He says, well, you can't pull this guy. He says, if I could play you in foul territory, I would.
Give him points for being candid.
Yeah.
Well, he could pick it.
Yeah, he was good.
As a Red Sox fan, you grew up hating all of them. Here's the 0-2. Down he goes. Span with a big rip, and he strikes out. A huge out there for Rick Porcello.
Yeah, good movement, too, on that fastball. Meager Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, and life insurance. That fastball at 90 miles an hour to pick up the strikeout against a guy that hits him pretty well. Rick Porcello gets the second out of the inning. Now he's still got to deal with Kiermaier.
Who's gone 0 for 2. He's lined to left and hit into a force play. He was one of the men that Craig Kimbrell blew away last night in the 9th inning. Gets a piece, but a foul, strike 1.
You know, it just seems to me, watching Porcello tonight, he has total confidence in all of his pitches. You know, sometimes you go out there and you can't find one, and you're stuck to 2 pitches. I mean, he's freely been throwing his fastball, his slider, his changeup.
It's a good movement. Trying to get out of this inning unscathed. Here comes the 0-1 to Kiermaier. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, Porcello used to going deep into games. Even last year with the 17 losses, he reached 203 innings. He had a stretch of 19 consecutive starts of at least 6 innings. And in that category, that led the majors. 1-1. Right past him.
That surprised Kiermaier. I'm going to tell you why. Last time Porcello fouled a fastball with a changeup, and he got him on a changeup to ground out, but he goes back-to-back fastballs this time, and you can see that Kiermaier's behind it. Upstairs in the zone for the third pitch, and no contact. See if he comes back with a changeup here.
One, two, and popped him up. Foul territory. Nunez right there, and he's got it. Sox text alerts from breaking news to in-game reports. Nesson will make sure you're in the know. To sign up, just text Red Sox to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. So to the sixth inning, Red Sox leading here 2-0 against a bullpen game for Tampa Bay. Martinez slams that one toward the alley, that one toward the gap, and it's onto the warning track. For his first Red Sox hit, he's into second base with a slide-in double. His first hit with Boston, and it's a lead-off double here in the sixth.
Yeah, didn't waste any time. Jumps on that first fastball he sees. And even though they're shading him in that direction, the ball's hit so hard it finds its way between Gomez and Kiermaier. And in the second base with the very late slide is J.D. Martinez.
Well, he had grounded out twice, and now his first Red Sox hit. The baseball now. Erod's got it. 26 doubles last year's first of the new year with his new team. Xander Bogaerts already has 4 of them and a home run now with a blast in the second inning. He's 1 for 2.
As we were talking about earlier, Billy Broadbent taking the videos of batting practice for J.D. Martinez. This goes on every single day because Billy works incredibly long hours with the work on video for the Red Sox. And now, in addition, he's out there for batting practice.
Another one roped down the line. That's a fair ball all the way to the corner. Bogaerts is slamming it everywhere. Another run is in. Red Sox on top 3-0. And he's already doubled 5 times in this series. Man, is he hot.
Yeah, I think that was an off-speed pitch to it. Might have been a changeup, and he's a little bit out on his front side, but the hands stay back. And again, pulling the ball down in that corner. He's on fire right now. I mean, everything looks good to him.
So Xander Bogaerts 7 out of 11 in the series. And just crushing. And an RBI is second of the ball game. So, you know, one of the guys that there was so much talk about during spring training, the need to bounce back. Of course, in his case, the need to stay healthy. Was right here at Tropicana where he got hit by that pitch last year.
That's the key right there. That ruined his season last year by getting hit by that pitch. It would never recovered after that.
Never went on the DL.
And probably should have.
And he said that after the season. He said, I probably should have shut it down. For his good, for the team's good, but wanted to keep on playing. You give him credit for that. But you live and learn. And here's Moreland. Mitch has flied out, taken ball 4. Red Sox with a 3-0 lead. Sox now with 5 hits, and they are all for extra bases. And Tampa Bay has 4 hits against Rick Porcello, and they're all singles.
J.D. Martinez getting the ball from Eddie Rodriguez. First hit in a Red Sox uniform.
They went right in his back pocket. Great moment for him. And in the hit column, Nunez on deck. Bogaerts at second base, where he's taken up residency in this series. One double after another. Red Sox showing some signs here tonight. The offense is coming to life. Different looking lineup this evening. Takes a friendly bounce from Miller behind first base, and he'll set him down with Bogaerts advancing 90 feet. So one away, and you can watch every out of market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. The infield comes in now for the Rays as Nunez gets ready to climb in. He has struck out and reached on an error by the third baseman Duffy.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Bogaerts go on contact if there was a ground ball to the infield. And the reason I say that, there's 1 out in the inning. You got the infield in, you got the right-hander at the plate and a left-hander on deck in Brock Holt. So you try to stay away from that lefty-lefty matchup. So that's why I think he'll go on contact. And what I mean by contact, for those who do not watch much baseball, as soon as the ball's hit on the ground, the runner at third takes off, even if the infield's in.
0-1. Lunging, looped a foul out of play. Nunez now 30 years old. He was an all-star back in 2016 while with Minnesota. He's also been a Yankee and a San Francisco Giant. Came from the Giants last summer. Was such a valuable guy for the Red Sox down the stretch. No throw. Bogaerts scampering back in.
Sucre, he wants to throw the ball all over the ballpark, doesn't he?
Yeah.
A couple of times a second, was looking down at third that time.
He's miffed when he doesn't get a chance to throw it. Next to show off that arm. Brock Holt on deck. And popped up. And Duffy there behind third. 2 away. Time now for a game break. Brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's our man, Tom Caron. Wow, 3 stolen bases there.
Second, third, and home. Who in the heck was the pitcher?
Dylan Betances, I think TC said.
Is that right?
Yeah. So Brock Holt has flied out and struck out 0 for 2. With a man at third, infield back to normal depth now for Tampa Bay. Yankees had won their first 2 games of the season. 1-0 pitch will miss. Hey, Toronto's got a lot of injury problems, don't they? Tulowitzki.
Yeah.
Shutting him down for a long time. And Josh Donaldson's got a terrible issue throwing the baseball. I don't know what they're calling it right now. He's had a shoulder problem, but I think they're just calling it dead arm at the moment. But it's weird. Pop foul out of play. Talking about not a pitcher, but an infielder.
I'd say if I was Brock Holt right now, you know what I'd be doing? I'd be bunting toward first base. And he's probably not going to do it. But you got a man at third base. You got the second baseman and first baseman really, really deep, and a left-hander on the mound. You just take it down that first base side. You get a base hit. You get a run.
Yeah, Miller at first, way behind the bag.
Yeah.
He'll lay off ball 3. Couple of close ones.
See that defense set up on the right side, how deep they are. And, you know, a lot of times if I was facing a left-handed pitcher and they were playing that deep with a man at third base, I'd be dragging it. Get that run home and get a base hit.
A run in on another extra base hit by Xander Bogaerts. And that's going to be ball 4. So Brock is on. First and third for Sandy Leon, who's coming up next. Sandy on tonight with a couple of flyouts, 1 to center and 1 to right field. Red Sox very, very fond of their catching core, which now includes Blake Swihart. After Vasquez and Leon, Christian with the night off tonight. And Sandy with an RBI opportunity, 2 down and a strike. Sandy finished 3rd in the majors last year in catcher's ERA, 3.41. Christian Vasquez with a new 3-year deal as the #1 catcher. Fouled away.
Now 2 strikes. Now you may see Holt try to take off at first base and try to create a run that way. Double steal possibility. Just throwing it out there, but it could happen. I'm not so sure they would throw through if Holt did take off at second base.
2 away and the 0-2. He's holding here, and that one missed badly.
Oh, a nice play by Sucre there. He just saved the run. Down on his crouch, had to quickly come popping out of it and able to keep that ball from going to the backstop. That ball almost got by him. Of course, when it goes to the backstop here, there's no guarantee you're going to score a run.
No.
It gets back in a hurry.
Helped the Red Sox the other day on a rebound. It came right back to Vasquez with a runner at third. I think it was Kiermaier the runner. He couldn't score. 1-2. What a good take by Sandy. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mookie Betts next. Sox with a run in the inning. Also scored in the second on the home run by Xander Bogaerts. Hanley Ramirez powered home in the 4th inning after he had doubled. And another run here in the 5th on back-to-back doubles by J.D. Martinez and Xander Bogaerts. Yarbrough in his major league debut, but in no particular hurry. The 2-2 and ball 3. Red Sox very patient with him.
It looked like Holt wanted to go that time. He took about 3 or 4 steps towards second base and then stopped. Now he'll definitely be going on the 3-2 count.
Sandy drove in 39 runs last year. The left-hander finally takes a sign. Now the payoff pitch. Brock Holt goes, and it's swung on and missed for strike 3. Red Sox settle for the 1. America run on Dunkin' because Dunkin's iced coffee is consistently smooth and delicious. Dunkin' Donuts coffee, #1 in New England. The Boston Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Plenty of Red Sox fans making their way over from Fort Myers, very into spring training, and about a 2-hour drive, 2.5 hours from Fort Myers here to St. Petersburg, Florida. And taking in the Red Sox series against the Rays, and the Sox have a 3-0 lead. Gomez leading off here in the 6th inning. He's gone 0 for 2. Porcello's been really sharp. Red Sox starters have now put up 18 scoreless innings to begin the season. Might be one of those deals, Jerry, where they're pushing each other.
Yeah, it becomes contagious, doesn't it? You know, one guy pitches a good game, then the next guy wants to pitch a better game, and the next guy wants to pitch a better game than that. And we've had 3 very good ones by Red Sox starters so far in this series.
It's our Carson Smith working in the bullpen. Socked into center field. Benintendi racing back. It's over his head. Out of the warning track. One hopping up into the fence. And Gomez has a double. So he unleashes a 2-base hit to begin the 6th inning for the Rays.
First time tonight the leadoff man has been on for the Tampa Bay Rays in this game. High fastball that time, about letter high. And Gomez puts a pretty good charge in it. At first, I thought Benintendi might have a chance, but then it quickly picked up speed, got over his head, and he had to play it off the wall. A little bobble, but it was going to be 2 bases anyway.
That's their first extra base hit tonight against Rick. And brings up Brad Miller, who has struck out looking and flied out. When he whiffed in the second inning, he was really surprised. Fouled away for strike 1. So Porcello has been able to mix it up against him. He's given up 5 hits now, each team with 5 hits. Oh, 1.
Fastball's been consistent tonight, around 90, 91 miles an hour for Porcello. Hembree joining Carson Smith in the bullpen.
Eye twisting pop. That's going to go out of play. I figured tonight if he had the opportunity that Alex Cora might get Carson Smith back up. Maybe Joe Kelly as well. We'll see how it pans out tonight. Get them back in after opening day went awry. Red Sox bouncing back with outstanding pitching last night to win 1-0. Down front 3-0 in game 3. 1-2.
Dana Levangie calling down to make sure and see if both guys are ready at this point.
Two. And he got him again. Boy, it's the second time tonight Miller walks away shocked. He's had success against him in the past.
I agree, Dave. It almost looks like he's fooled by this inside fastball, like he's looking for something else. And instead he gets not a bad pitch to hit, a fastball on the inside part of the plate, but just takes it. And it's almost like he's jumping back from it.
And Porcello has shocked him twice. He's got him all 3 times, and that'll bring up Matt Duffy, who has singled and flied out. Rick Porcello at 87 pitches. Looking like it could be his final inning here tonight. Duffy with a slicer, foul for a strike. And Carson Smith certainly looks like he's ready to go. One and one to Duffy, who missed all of last year with a torn Achilles. Ground ball and a base hit. Nunez couldn't quite reach it. Down to third, and Gomez will stop there. So Duffy with his second hit. They're on the corners for the Rays.
And you wonder if Porcello's going to make it through this inning. As he talked about the pitch count, which is pretty high, for this time of the season. And we'll have to see if Cora makes a move mid-inning. It looks like he's going to bust a move out there right now.
Carson Smith, certainly a guy who can get that double play ball when he is right. So Rick Porcello coming out. Responsible for the runners at first and second. It's actually going to be Heath Hembree coming on. So that's the decision. the 6th inning, so long enough to qualify for a win, and now turns it over to the bullpen and Heath Hembry. And for Heath, his first appearance on the young season. He inherits first and third and one down. Heath, 29 years old, 2-3 last year, 3.63 ERA in 62 appearances. And it evened out to 1 inning per appearance. He'll take on Joey Wendell, who's gone 0 for 2.
Those signs you saw Leone giving with it to the middle infielders to let him know if he's going to be throwing the ball through, if there's an attempt to steal, or do something other. Throw it back to the pitcher, throw it to third, or don't throw it at all.
Goes after the first one, golfs a pop-up into foul ground. Nunez with a lengthy romp near the stands, but it's off into the seats. So Wendell very anxious to make something happen. He's down a strike. Certainly the best scoring opportunity for the Tampa Bay Rays so far tonight. Leadoff double by Gomez after the strikeout of Miller. Duffy with a sharp single. Here's the 0-1. Fly ball into left. Martinez back. Gomez back to tag. Throw will come into second base, and it's cut, and the run is in. And the sacrifice by Wendell. He's got to run home to make it 3-1. 2 down.
Well, he got his job done. He got the ball in the air to get the run home. No ground ball for a double play to get the Red Sox out of an inning. There's the pitch. It's going to be up in the zone, and that slight uppercut swing gets that ball down deep enough. J.D. Martinez makes a smart throw here, getting the ball. He knows he's got no chance to get the guy at home. Throw to second. Get the ball to second. Keep another man out of scoring position.
So the run will be charged to Rick Porcello. It's the first run allowed by a Red Sox starter to date. Echeverria has flied out and grounded out 0 for 2. So a 3-1 ball game here in the 6th. Alex Smith would be next. And the righty's 0-1. Sock foul.
96 on that fastball from Hembry. So Porcello's fastball was about 90-91 tonight. Hembry, he bumps it up a bit to 96.
Now come the 7th inning. The Red Sox have due up the top of the order. Betts, Benintendi, Ramirez. 0-2. Smith still watching down the left field line if needed in this inning. And a 1-2 to the shortstop. He'll skip away from Leone. That'll advance the runner. Duffy into second and stopping there. That'll be a wild pitch by Hembry.
Yeah, it hurts right there. They get some man in the scoring position now with the 2 outs, and on a base hit will probably score to make it a 1-run game. Looks like he tried to snap off the slider that time and just overthrew it. Bounces off the chest protector of Leone, and the runner gets in a scoring position at second base.
So 2-2. And Hembry trying to end it on a strikeout of Echeverria. Two hits and a run in the inning. And now a wild pitch. And time will be granted. Sox ahead here 3-1. Embry firing. And that one ate him up. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Leon will fire on to get him. 1 run in, 3-1 Red Sox. Mookie Betts will begin the 7th inning. Red Sox leading at 3-1 here at St. Petersburg and the Trop. Mookie's gone 1 for 3 with a double. Then it's Benintendi and then Hanley Ramirez. Hanley with a double as well, and he scored a run in the 4th inning. JD Martinez has his first hit with the Red Sox. That was a double in the 6th. Xander Bogaerts has homered and doubled again. And that one ripped into left, but it stays right there for Smith. Hit on a line for the out. Time of the Carrying the Freight moment brought to you by Old Dominion.
Well, Carrying the Freight tonight is Xander Bogaerts with the lead, the home run early in the ballgame to give the Red Sox the lead. Then JD Martinez picks up his first hit in a Red Sox uniform, a double into the gap in right center field. And then Bogaerts follows with a double on a changeup that time to drive in another run for the Red Sox.
Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. Xander's had some series with 5 doubles and a home run. Andrew Benintendi would like a little of that himself. He has yet to taste a hit on the young season. 0 for 1 in this one with 2 walks. After a very hot spring. Ryan Yarbrough in his major league debut still out there. Here's the 1-1 and a breaking ball.
He settled in pretty nicely, hasn't he? I mean, you know, he got in trouble last inning with the back-to-back doubles, but then only gave up 1 run in the inning.
Sox were able to squeak out a 1-0 win last night behind great pitching. Getting good pitching again here tonight. Yarbrough a little unexpected, although, as you said, in the minor leagues, he was a strikeout guy.
Yeah, and I find that hard to believe because he's really not that hard of a thrower. 90 with the fastball. Yeah, a little work being done on the right shoulder of Xander Bogaerts by Brad Pearson.
Red Sox head trainer. Chopper, but that's going to be a foul ball. The Sox have a terrific training staff. One of the very best in the game. They also have a massage therapist by the name of Russell Newell, who's been with the Red Sox for 15 years, who from all reports has the strongest hands of anyone alive.
Have you ever had him work on you?
Have not had the need yet.
I have had it. And I'm going to tell you something. It is painful, but it works.
Works. 2-2, Benintendi down, swinging. He's really, really good. And the word on Russell was, I mean, he worked the polo circuit. And not only did the massage for the polo players, but the horses, too. That's how strong he is.
Yeah, his hands are just so strong. And I had a back problem one time in Seattle, and he actually came out to my room. And I told him the problem was the back, but he kept pushing around my kitchen, you know, and it was like, painful. I was like, what do you the problem's in my back? He says, no, this moves everything around, and I'm just saying, okay, do what you got to do, but
get in that kitchen.
I'm in incredible pain right now.
but it worked.
It did help. It did help. It really did.
When I'm in pain, that's where I got to go right for the kitchen. Hanley is hit into a double play, doubled, and grounded into a force. Well, you're in good hands with Russell. As are the Red Sox. We're on top here 3-1. And last year, 23 homers, 62 runs batted in. He had a couple of bad shoulders. He had one of them repaired in the offseason in October. He had surgery on that left one. 1-1. Want compelling Red Sox coverage at your fingertips? You can follow Nesson on Facebook for news, rumors, analysis, and more, all with an entertaining and informative Red Sox angle. Martinez to hit next. And Yarborough home with a 1-2 pitch to Hanley. Little pop up, and there's Miller. Red Sox go 1-2-3. Coors Light.
Well, strikeouts, 4 strikeouts here for Rick Porcello on the night. Pinpointing his fastball inside part of the plate, tails back over the middle, no contact, and Miller fooled on an inside fastball there.
Bottom of the 7th, Red Sox with a 2-run lead. Nunez in close against a bunt by Malik Smith, who's gone 1 for 2 with a single. He keeps meticulous notes during the games. He logs his own sort of personality tailored scouting reports. And a lot of players will do that today. He was a rookie with the Braves. The outfielder Jeff Francoeur was among those who teased him about the notebooks. And one time Smith had a quick at bat. When he came back, Francoeur had written in the book in bold letters, 3 straight fastballs. That's what you saw. Teammates could be without mercy. Stroked into left. In Martinez for the out.
Tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, Jemai and Mark will recap the Bruins' big win today against the Panthers. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people. The Bruins, of course, won that game 5-1.
You are where I'm coming for all my hockey news now.
Yeah, that's that time of the season. You know, it's everything's firing up.
Excited about the Bees and a deep run. Thinking Stanley Cup. Celtics will be gearing up. Red Sox will be headed home shortly after another game tomorrow here, 2 in Miami, and home next week. Opening day next Thursday at Fenway. Home opener at 2 p.m.
Be the same guys we saw last night in the game. Price against Snell, scheduled for opening day in Boston. Good pitching matchup.
It was last night. That is right through there, a strike. Sucre with a walk and a base hit. Denard Span on deck. And Bobby Poyner is loosening up down the left field line in the Red Sox bullpen. It's the 3rd consecutive day in this series that Bobby, who is dying to make his major league debut, has been warming up. He is yet to get in. We'll see if that moment is right around the corner. Here comes the 2-2 from Hembree. Swing and a miss. He got him with the slider. So 2 gone. When hip and knee pain forces you to sit out, visit the joint replacement experts at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Find out how the techniques can help you get back to the activities you love. Visit BAIDMC.org.
That is a contraption. I don't know what it's doing. Maybe strengthening the wrist, possibly, but they got all kind of gadgets now. I don't. What do you think that's doing?
You know, if I were a betting man, I'd say it's some kind of massage.
Yeah.
Maybe a massage that Russell doesn't do. Looks like his hand's stuck though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Denard Span 1 for 3 with a base hit. All kinds of contraptions today. And iPads for batting practice. High-tech stuff. Three runs on 5 hits for the Red Sox, a run on 6 hits for Tampa Bay. They've made the only error. Hembree just off the edge with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
He's had a couple of close ones in this at bat, but not going his way. Falling behind 3-0.
Trying to get them in order here in the 7th. Nobody on base. And a strike. And again, Velasquez going tomorrow. Hector threw the ball very well during spring. Up against the right hand of the young righty Jake Faria. And the Sox have a very short flight on to Miami. And the 3-1, that's strike 2.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was in the exact same place as the third pitch, which was not called a strike, but the fifth one was, which is a good thing for the Red Sox.
Andy Fletcher with the plate. So Heath Hembree trying to make it back-to-back Ks and maintain this 3-1 lead, and the 3-2 pitch now to Denard Span. Did he hold up? He did. That is ball 4. So Span is on, and here comes Cora. And Bobby Poyner is coming in. And he is about to make his major league debut. The left-hander. Four dealers by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by your New England Audi dealers. Get behind the wheel of the Audi you've always wanted. Well, we've seen a couple of left-handers make their major league debuts tonight. We're about to see that from Bobby Poyner. 25 years old, out of West Palm and Wellington, Florida. Pitched last season at Salem, and Portland put together an outstanding spring to make the ball club as the lefty. And his first pitch in the majors. That is strike 1 on Kiermaier.
You think first pitch would be fastball, but no, he drops the slider on him.
It's interesting to watch Alex Cora when Bobby came out of the bullpen. Whatever he said, he got him laughing right away to break some of that tension.
OB Jerry, I talked to Bobby Poyner on opening day, and he said it still felt surreal and he was waiting for it to sink in. He said as soon as Alex Cora told him that he made the 25-man roster, he wanted to FaceTime with his mom so he could see her reaction when he told her. Guys, I'm sure it's a special moment for Bobby and his family.
Unforgettable. Yep, moment of a lifetime right here. Here's the 1-1. So he gets in front on Kiermaier.
You got to think what Poyner was thinking when he was called into the office. You know, a lot of times when that happens, you say, well, you know, I didn't make it, and going to get the word that, go to the minor leagues, work on this, and all of a sudden you walk in there and the man says, you're a big leaguer. What a special feeling.
1-2. Knocked foul by Kiermaier. He's facing a good hitter here who's 0 for 3 on the night. Bobby, a college star at the University of Florida, and played in 2 College World Series for the Gators. And a 1-2 again. And he popped him up. Here comes Nunez to put it away and retire the side. Move one step closer toward a tobacco-free generation. You can learn more at cbshealth.com/be-the-first. Sox in front, getting late now. Top half of the 8th inning, leading at Tampa Bay 3-1. Yarbrough's still out there. He has gone 3 2/3. Night that was supposed to be a bullpen game for Tampa Bay, and he didn't start it, but he's pitching deep into the game.
Yeah, it's become more of a bullpen game for the Red Sox than it is for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yep. Red Sox have used Heath Hembree, and now Bobby Poyner just made a successful major league debut after Rick Porcello went 5 1/3. J.D. Martinez 1 for 3. His first Red Sox hit, it was a double to right center. A gap shot in the 6th inning that got to the fence. And J.D. was brought in moments later on another double by Xander Bogaerts. He's doubled 5 times in the first 3 games, and he's whacked a homer tonight. It has not been a hit fest for the Red Sox. They've made the most out of their hits. Only 5 of them. Xander, of course, the exception. Here comes the 1-2. Got a piece of it on a big swing.
Too close to take. It was high. It was maybe a little bit out of the strike zone, but still one that you don't want to leave in the hands of the umpire to bring you up.
JD 6'3", 221. Outstanding opposite field power. And wouldn't you know it, that's where his first Red Sox hit went. Martinez leading off the 8th. And a 2-2 from Yarbrough. Little floater, but that's going to drop down for a base hit. And he goes to right field with that as well. So JD 2 for 4 in this one.
That gets off the Stein tonight. Did not have a hit coming into the ball game tonight after the first 2 games. The double back in the 6th. Now a little blue. Out to right field as they start to fall in for JD Martinez.
Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment, honoring the 2013 Red Sox World Champions. And in Game 3, Red Sox lost to the Yankees 4-2. Ryan Dempster struck out 8, but he took the loss. Pettit and Rivera combined to limit the Red Sox to 2 runs. Well, now the red-hot Xander Bogaerts tonight. A home run, a double, 2 RBIs, and Xander has become the first Red Sox player with multiple extra base hits each of his first 3 games to begin a season. And the way he looked in spring training, you thought he might get off to a real hot start.
Well, he has just about every year he's played with the Red Sox, right?
Yes. He's had a lot of very productive first halves in particular. Last year he was sailing along at 308 before he got drilled by a pitch on the hand. Get about 230 after that. So that really did ruin his season. But he is healthy and swinging it right out of the gate here in 2018. And 1-1 will not be made as Martinez is back in. Gaping hole on the right side of the infield.
Yeah, they have actually switched up their defense a little bit on Bogaerts here in this series, where they were shading him very much to the opposite field. Not quite as much now because he's been pulling the ball so much.
He goes the other way this time for a base hit. Martinez moves up to second. And Xander Bogaerts, for the second time in the series, is 3 for 4 in a game.
You know, when you're swinging a bat like Bogaerts is right now in the first 3 games, I mean, you just can't wait to get to the ballpark and get your first at bat because you know you're going to do something good. Look at that pitch. Outside part of the plate. Doesn't try to pull it. Goes with it. And that's more of a Bogaerts hit right there. Right there we're accustomed to the opposite field.
So a double, a single, a home run for Xander tonight. First and second for Mitch Moreland and nobody out. Red Sox looking for a little more breathing room here in the late stages. He flies that one to center field, but a routine play for Kiermaier. And the runners have to hold. 1 away. Nunez will be next.
Kevin Cash out of the dugout. He's got a right-hander loose down there. You got a right-hander coming to the plate in Nunez, and it looks like he's going to make the pitching change.
It'll be Sergio Romo, the former Giant. He'll be brought in against Nunez, a former Giant.
DCU, TC, Jim and Steve will take a closer look at Red Sox pitcher Hector Velasquez. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Well, Yarbrough now out of the ball game. He pitched deep into the contest, but he leaves behind first and second and one man out. There comes Sergio Romo, as mentioned, with the Dodgers and Tampa Bay last year, but with the Giants before that. And he was teammates with Eduardo Nunez in 2016. Did it help you when you faced a former teammate?
Yeah, I think it does, because I think you see them hit over and over again. You know their tendencies. You know what pitches give them problems. I definitely think it helps. First two pitches, sliders, breaking balls right there, as you can see, kind of sweeping breaking balls dropping down to the side. And the first time that Nunez was up tonight, he went down on a breaking ball for a strikeout.
Looking for his first hit tonight. Had 2 on opening day and 1 last night. Flies that one to center, but room for Kiermaier. Martinez back to tag at second. He's going to stay right there. Kiermaier with a very accurate arm. And so that's out number 2. And it'll be Brock Holt trying to pick up another run. Brock tonight with a strikeout, a flyout, and he's taking ball 4. Sox up 3-1. And he lays off the first for ball 1. Brock, among the many Red Sox who have their families here, came over from spring training, which was a bus ride for the Red Sox and their families. So that's been a very nice thing. Red Sox have not had to fly off and leave their families behind in many cases.
Everybody's staying in the state of Florida. A little extra time up here in Tampa, then down to Miami.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Game time tomorrow is 1:10. Velasquez against Faria. Both of the games in Miami Monday and Tuesday will be in the evening. And the Sox will have Wednesday off and a home opener next Thursday at Fenway. 2-2 on Brock. We're gonna wait to get home. Even though the Red Sox are going to lose about probably 30 degrees, maybe more. It won't matter. It's supposed to be a sunny day. That's the forecast right now, is given by our staff meteorologist Jerry Remy. Next Thursday in Boston. Runners leading at first and second. And Romo with a 2-2.
I predict, Dave, that if it's going to be 43 and sunny, we're either going to have a sea breeze or a breeze coming from the north, from Canada. If it's going to be 43 degrees and sunny. I'd rather have the breeze coming from Canada than the sea breeze. I can't stand the sea breeze.
I'm with you. I am with you, because it can get roaring.
Oh.
And right into the booth.
Yeah.
But at least we'll be home. And now the 3-2. Runners will go. And he walked him. Disciplined at bat there by Brock Holt. And that's going to fill up the bases for Sandy Leon. Brock walking for the second time.
Well, a chance here for Sandy Leon to really bust this one open for the Red Sox and take some pressure off in the last couple of innings.
Yep, Sandy hitless in this one. He's flied out twice. He's also struck out. So it's J.D. Martinez at third, Xander Bogaerts at second, Brock Holt at first. And 2 down. And a strike. Romo for a time was a really good closer for the Giants. 38 saves back in 2013, so he's used to pitching in pressure spots. 0-1. Pop foul out of play, so Sandy is in the hole here.
Awful lot of sliders from Romo as he drops down to the side to throw that breaking ball.
He's now 35 years old, this right-hander. All loaded up, 2 down, and the 0-2 to Sandy. For the Red Sox, single runs in the second, fourth, and sixth innings. No crooked numbers yet. Betts on deck. Nasty pitch to get him and leave the bases loaded. Still a tight one here.
Monday, Red Sox baseball is final in full swing on NESN as the Red Sox and their new skipper head to Miami to face a familiar foe in a new front office.
He won it! Vasquez guns the tag, out!
Red Sox, Marlins, series coverage begins Monday at 6 on NESN.
So I got one question for you. Do you believe in you? Because I do. I believe in you so much, I've already booked the tickets all the way to the championship game. Because we're not flying home today.
When your plans change, our fees don't. Behind every story is the reason for transparency.
What?
I switched to Geico and got more.
More savings on car insurance?
Uh-huh. And an award-winning mobile app.
Well, it is more.
Oh, there's more. Mobile ID cards, emergency roadside service.
More technology.
I can even add a new driver.
Right from her phone! Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
162 games and you want to see them all. Now you can. Only T-Mobile gives you an entire season of MLB TV for free. Stream your team anytime from almost anywhere. Because your stadium should be wherever you make it. Join T-Mobile and get free MLB TV all season.
Bottom half of the 8th coming your way. Red Sox trying to protect a 2-run advantage against the Rays, and Bobby Poyner back out there for another inning. And Gomez will lead things off. Last time up he doubled. Here he hammers a high deep drive to left field. That one's going to be out of here and way out of here. Gomez, who had doubled back in the 6th inning, touches them all to tighten it up. It's 3-2.
Second hit of the game for Gomez, a double back in the 6th inning. And now the home run to make it a 1-run game. That's a breaking ball that just stays up about belt high, and Gomez jumps all over it.
Carson Smith throwing again in the Sox bullpen. And here's Miller. He's a home run threat too. Miller hit 30 a couple of years ago. And this one he struck out twice and fly to center field, a 1-0. It'll dip downstairs. I was a little surprised to see him come back out for this inning.
I agree.
You know, he got the out with a man on, got the pop up on Kiermaier in the 7th inning. Mile high pop up here. Oncoming Moreland. And on the turf, he's got it.
Let's see if he comes out now. Yeah, here comes Alex Cora. He's down to a run ball game. You've got Carson Smith ready in the bullpen. You've got a right-hander, Duffy, coming to the plate. Time to make the move. But I was with you, Dave. I was a little bit surprised. After he got that big out to end the 7th, I did not expect to see him in the 8th.
Now Poyner coming out. Smith coming on now with one away. And it tightens up 3-2. Rick Porcello pitching into the 6th inning. He can win it. Another big night for Xander Bogaerts. 3 for 4 with a home run. JD Martinez with his first couple of hits with the Red Sox. And now the baseball goes to Carson Smith. We saw him on opening day when it all went crazy in the 8th inning. And now in the 8th inning, trying to make sure it doesn't again. Last year, 8 appearances coming back from Tommy John. Bases will be empty as Carson makes another appearance. He'll take on Matt Duffy here. There's a couple of singles tonight. Gomez with a long home run in this inning to make it a 1-run affair. Up the middle and a base hit. So that's his 3rd hit in a row.
Well, he didn't waste any time either. Jumped on that first fastball by Carson Smith. You're trying to sink the fastball. That one didn't sink very much. It was kind of flat, and right back up the middle goes Duffy.
So Duffy had flied out in the 2nd inning. He is singled in the 4th, the 6th, and now in the 8th. So tying run is on base now all of a sudden. Brings up Joey Wendell. He drove in a run with a sac fly in the 6th inning. Tampa Bay actually with an edge in hits tonight, 8-7. And that'll be ball 1. Always seems to be the case, regardless of the expectations for the Tampa Bay Rays. They're always a very sticky ball club. They're tough to put away. A lot of low-scoring games. It's been the case for such a long time.
Well, one thing you're really worried about in the past is we look at Rowe and Colomé loosening up. Colomé in case this game becomes tied or they take the lead. If it remains a one-run game, one-run lead by the Red Sox, you'll probably see Rowe.
The 1-1. He gets ahead. Nobody throwing in a Red Sox pen, 2 men in a Tampa Bay pen. Bottom half of the 8th inning, the Red Sox lead has been sliced to 1. And it's 2-2 on Joey Wendell. Echeverria on deck. Carson Smith looking for that ground ball.
Trying to throw that slider to the outside part of the plate, see if the left-hander will roll over on it and get a ground ball to the second baseman. That time fouling it off to the third base side. See, they want this breaking ball away, try to backdoor go to the outside corner, but it's a pretty good job fouling that ball off by Wendell.
Duffy getting his lead. Red Sox winning here. If you missed it last night, 1-0. Lone run coming in the 7th inning on a Xander Bogaerts double, and then a Rafael Devers single. Rafael is sitting tonight.
Wants the slider again. And again.
2-2 coming. He got him. He struck him out, spun him around.
Once again, he goes back to that outside part of the plate, and that time no contact by Wendell. Not wanting to leave the breaking ball inside, something that he can pull with power. He drops it to the outside part of the plate, back door, and they pick up the strikeout.
Marcus Walden, who has never thrown a pitch in a major league game. He's been on a big league roster very briefly, now warming up for the Red Sox. And Echeverria, the batter, 0 for 3. He's flied out, grounded out, struck out. So once again in the 8th inning, a tense one here at the Trop. Gomez made it that with that long home run. Here's the 0-1, not to be made, and a dive back in by Duffy.
Something I don't see very often. Duffy taking his belt off after diving back into first base.
Got to be careful with that.
Make sure the pants are tight. Dove back in, took the belt off, and gave it to the first base coach. Now let's see. Are they going to replace belts? Yeah, they're going to put another one on.
Chris Archer running that belt off.
There it is off. I've had enough of this. You can have it. Bring me a new one. Maybe this is his base stealing belt.
It wouldn't be the least surprised. So he's ready. 2 down, a man on. Not running, and it's well outside. If it is his base stealing belt, he's given away his intentions. Still working it.
Yeah, he hasn't got it quite the way he'd like it yet.
Carson Smith's 1-1 runner holding. That's a swing and a miss. He got him to commit. And now he's in front, 1-2.
That day was a good sinking fastball by Carson Smith. That's more the type of fastball we're used to seeing from him. It just kind of falls off the table.
Once again, he throws over to Duffy. One ball and 2 strikes on Echeverria. Smith just struck out Wendell. Runner takes off, and no throw on the play. So down to second base. That was his base stealing belt.
Yep.
Duffy is safe.
And he picked a very good pitch to go on, too. He got the slider, got the off-speed pitch, and it's going to be away from Leon. He has to backhand it. He had no chance at second base. Got an excellent jump with his new base-stealing belt. So the tying run, all of a sudden, in scoring position for the Rays.
And a 2-2. Tough stop there by Leon. The runner will hold at second. So now the Red Sox hanging on to this lead of 3-2.
A rare visit to the mound right here as they want to be on the same page with what they want to do on this 3-2 count.
Xander Bogaerts also in to go to the rosin bag. Xander went to the rosin bag. I don't believe that counts as a visit. Now Leon had already gone out there. It'd be interesting to see how they interpret this. They've got 5 visits up there now for the Red Sox. You only get 6 this year.
Yeah,
you've got to be very careful about stuff like that.
Exactly. I think that might have been 2 visits.
It might have been. Swinging a high fly into center field, but Benintendi cruises on back to make the catch. Run in. This is a close one at the end of 8. Well, top half of the 9th inning and a 3-2 Red Sox lead. This is now Xander Bogaerts coming to the mound. Now remember, there's a limit on mound visits of 6. And to me, it looked like the home plate umpire Fletcher stopped him.
Right.
And then they had a discussion. So 5 visits have been posted up there. And here's the discussion in between. Definition of a visit. Now, if it's a really muddy day, the shortstop can come and he can clean his spikes on the mound using the pitcher's tool there, and that's not included as a visit. But
I wouldn't talk to the pitcher, though, if I was going in there. I wouldn't take that chance.
Exactly. Can't say a word. Mookie Betts leading off here. 3-2, Sox in the lead. This is Chaz Rowe, the lanky righty. That one almost got him. Mookie has gone 1 for 4. This is not a mound visit. These are the rules. You can talk to the pitcher, but you have to do it from your position.
Yeah, and this is not rainy conditions.
Here's the 2-0.
I think they got doubled up on visits there. I really do.
That'd be a tough way to go. Here's Kimbrel warming up in the bullpen. He was brilliant last night, as he was last year, of course. Not to mention the year before that, the year before that. And the 2-1. Boy, the Sox need a cushion here. Good count for Mookie. Here's the 3-1. And he's going to be on immediately on ball 4. So the Sox have a base runner in the speedy Betts. Benintendi coming up to hit next. Trying to get a little more breathing room for Mr. Kimbrel. Benintendi has walked a couple of times. Still looking for that first hit on the season. 0 for 2 tonight.
And I'm quite sure Mookie Betts is on his own right here. If he feels he can get a jump and a good jump off Rowe, he'll go. Immediately the throw to first base to get Betts diving back in.
Benintendi, the talented outfielder, trying to break through, come up with that first hit. Mookie kept busy over there.
You know, I hate to be repetitive with it, but you know, Mookie's a great example when he gets at first base, how he tries to look in to pick up the signs and see if he can pick up a breaking ball. It's a little bit more difficult with a left-handed hitter at the plate in Benintendi. Now he's got a breaking ball right here, it looks like.
Not running. And a high twisting fly to left. Malik Smith to the catch. One gone. Next in will be Hanley. Ramirez tonight 1 for 4 with a double and a run. Series will wrap up tomorrow at 1:10. And it'll be on to Miami for 2. Marlins have had an interesting start to their season, that's for sure. The very first pitch that they threw was hit out of the ballpark to start the season on opening day. And then they beat the Cubs in 17 innings in game 2. Mookie stole 26 bases last season. He gets his lead. He's running. Got a good jump. Here's the throw. He slides in and he is safe.
Perfect example of knowing what pitch is coming and when to go. That was the breaking ball that time, and I'm sure Betts picked that up. Had a very good jump at first base. A good throw by Sucre, the catcher, but not in time with the head first slide. Now they want to look at this. Betts sliding to the outfield side. Does he get the hand in? It looks like the foot was blocking the hand, but I believe it did get in there before the tag and the block. There's the head first slide. Now watch the hand. It's being blocked right there, but does it get to the bag? Ooh, may not have got to the bag. He may have blocked it with his foot. He might have blocked it with his foot. I think that last angle gives us the best look.
Right, that angle where he's extending the fingers, and it looked like the fingers didn't get there.
Right. That's the one disadvantage of the head first slide. You're not afraid as an infielder to get, your foot down, your knee down in front of that. And I think he might have got him on the back before the hand got in there.
So this play is under review. And a big call here.
I'm 0 for 2 this season so far in reviews. I'm going to say that they're going to call Betts out. Let's see.
Mookie Betts ruled out. I think they got it right.
Yeah, they did get it right. That was a heck of a play right there by putting that foot in front of the bag. That is the one disadvantage of the head first slide. If you go feet first, no second baseman or shortstop is going to put their knee or their foot in front of a bag. You're going to get spiked.
So the bases are empty with 2 down instead of a runner at second base with 1 down in a 1-run game. And the 0-1 pitch to Hanley. Well, give Wendell credit. That's a smart play. Kimbrel all loosened up down the left field line. Here's the 0-2. He came in throwing gas last night. Struck out the first 2 men of his season.
He's going to be facing 8, 9, and 1 in the 9th.
And roll with a 1-2 pitch. Could not get him to offer, and a check by Hanley. JD Martinez on deck. He has a 2-hit night. Big gap in left center. If Hanley can get around and smoke one through there, he's going to be running all night. 2-2. And he missed again. Looked for a moment as if the Red Sox had a key man in scoring position, but not to be, as it was overturned on review. A stolen base by Mookie. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Hanley Ramirez.
Oh, Hanley had a good cut at that. It was a breaking ball 3-2, but he was all over it. Slider that breaks right out over the plate, and Ramirez just fouls it straight back. Almost like he was looking for the breaking ball that time. Tough to do on a 3-2 count, but it sure had, the swing sure looked like it.
(3-2). Popped up. Oncoming Miller, the first baseman, the catcher Sucre will make the play. And that is all for the Red Sox. It is time for Craig Kimbrel as we go to the bottom of the 9th in a 1-run game. Bob's Discount Furniture is going to bat for the Jimmy Fund again this year. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's, the only choice for untouchable furniture value. Available in-store or at mybobs.com. Kimbrel came on last night, struck out the side, and his numbers have really been incredible against the Tampa Bay Rays in particular over the last couple of seasons. As Jerry mentioned, he gets 8, 9, and 1. Smith, Sucre, and Span, the scheduled batters.
Yeah, it looks like Crone has come on deck to be the second hitter in this inning. Heads up for the bunt.
First one in there for strike one.
Jimenez in very tight at third base. Moreland just behind the bag at first. So this guy can bunt and he can run.
On the night, 1 for 3 with a base hit. Sox up by 1. Nothing in 2. Well, the last 10 times that Kimbrel has faced Tampa Bay, this goes back to April of last year, he's allowed 1 base runner. He's faced 31 batters, Jerry, struck out 26 of them, and has not given up a hit. That's 10 innings of no-hit baseball.
Here comes that rising fastball away.
Well, man on deck, Crone is a home run guy. So work to do for Craig Kimbrel. And a 1-2 to Malik Smith. 2-2.
Red Sox very, very shallow in the outfield with Smith at the plate and shaded him to the opposite field.
Trying to put him away here. Just got a piece to hang in. Red Sox here early in the season have decided to use Kimbrel in clean innings, coming in without a base runner, top of an inning. Alex Cora talking about why he didn't go to Kimbrel on opening day in that 8th inning. 2-2. And almost got him. Sent him down on his knees for ball 3.
Now that big sweeping breaking ball very hard by Kimbrel, and it just kept chasing Smith. Very fortunate for the Red Sox that didn't hit him.
Kimbrel working in back-to-back games. Three-two. That's going to miss for ball 4. So Smith is on, and with him, excellent speed.
Well, where was that pitch? I mean, was it too low? Looked like a pretty good pitch to me. Certainly had plenty of the outside corner, but called for being too low. Take a look at the Amica pitch zone. See where it is. What do you think? Steve Reich. Changes the whole inning right now with speed at first base.
Crone the batter, hitting for the first time tonight. Red Sox in the lead 3-2. And downstairs for a ball. Got to believe it's only a matter of time before Malik Smith tries to steal a base. Span on deck.
You know, you might as well try it because the odds of putting together hits against Kimbrel are not very good. And if you've got speed at first base, you might as well try to use it. I mean, that's how you can make things happen against a guy like Kimbrel.
71% is not a great percentage. He's not running here. On the infield, Bogaerts fires back on and got him.
Oh, is that awful base running?
How about that? He is doubled up and there are 2 down. Goodness gracious.
He was caught between not knowing if that ball was going to drop in or be caught by Xander Bogaerts, and it was caught, and then Smith didn't know what to do. He gets hung up. That's just not good base running right there. If the ball drops in, he's going to be out at second base anyway. He cannot get doubled up on this.
Well, Cash did come out to talk with the first base umpire, and now retreats to his dugout. Xander got to it right before it touched the dirt, and a double play cleans off the bases.
Here's the play at first base right there, and it looks like the throw was there in time, and a very nice play by Mitch Moreland at first base. No argument from Smith.
And here's Span. So the Red Sox turn 2 in the clutch. Span has gone 1 for 3 with a base hit and a walk. And a 1-0. That's a strike. Kimbrel and out away from securing the victory here tonight. And a 1-1. Strike 2. Span looked like he was thinking fastball. He did not get it. He got the breaking ball. A 3-2 game, but a lot going on here tonight at the Trop. Lots to talk about. Kimbrel trying to end it, the 1-2. Well, if he can save this one, the victory would go to Rick Porcello in his first start of 2018. The 1-2. Now Span being very, very pesky here in the 9th inning with the bases empty. That's a night that has seen Xander Bogaerts come up with 3 more hits and a homer. JD Martinez with his first 2 Red Sox hits. And Bobby Poyner with his major league debut. Two and 2.
Sharp, but not quite as sharp as last night. Back-to-back games here for Kimbrel.
Double play, huge. 2-2 to Span. Popped up on the infield. Here comes Xander, and that's the ball game. The Red Sox have won it. Final score of 3-2, and another save for Kimbrel as Porcello picks up the win. And the Red Sox are now 2-1 on the season. Xander Bogaerts right in the thick of the whole thing tonight with another outstanding ball game, including the home run. There's your final. Red Sox knocking off the Rays, and they will go for the series win TC tomorrow afternoon.